So hi, Brad Walchek with Premier here. I hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend, and just want to start out by thanking you for taking the time to join us today. I wanted to host this webinar as either an introduction to short-term home healthcare or as a refresher course, as these products are great cross-selling opportunity for the upcoming AEP. So with that, GTL has been one of the leaders in this market, and they have a couple different options which meet their clients' goals. So with us today, I have Greg Esposito, Vice President of Sales, to go over both of Recover Cash and then the short-term home healthcare. During this, I'll try to answer some of your questions, but if not, we'll go ahead and take it over at the end. So without further ado, here's Greg.
Hey, thanks, Brad. And yeah, everybody really do appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you had a good holiday weekend, and we're kind of back at it. And next thing you know, it's AEP and it's crazy time. So wanted to get together, share with you a couple products. One of them's been around for a little while, the short-term home health care. We did just make a nice improvement on that one, but also Recover Cash. That is a plan that GTL launched in 2012. It went pretty good, but we just kept hearing from the agents that it didn't have enough benefits. So we did a massive upgrade to it and just relaunched it February of this year. And it's got some great benefits that I think you're going to agree with me, not only are great for your client, but also for their family. And again, just as usual, when we come out with products at GTL, we try to make sure they have bells and whistles that no other company has. And believe me, Recover Cash is definitely leading the market with some of the new caregiver benefits that we have. With regard to GTL, if you're brand new, you're not familiar with us, thanks for tuning in. We've been around for a long time, since 1936. And basically what we do is we make ancillary products. So when your client uses their main insurance or has some kind of health event, like being diagnosed with cancer or needing some assisted living facility, nursing home care, home health care, we've got products that can help take care of that. As you know, the important thing is we got to get them that product before they have that need. But that's what we've been doing for quite a long time. Really solid financially, A-, excellent, zero debt on our balance sheet, and it's been that way for decades. With regard to the products we're covering today, Recover Cash. That's a short-term care plan. Really can get quite a bit of cash benefits from this plan for the clients, and then also following that up with short-term home health care. Now, this plan has been an absolute home run for clients that just really don't have anything for long-term care, maybe at an age where they just can't qualify for long-term care, or even some short-term care plans, and or just don't have the money to pay for a long-term care plan. So, and oddly enough, from long-term care agents, what I hear is even their clients that have a long-term care plan, they still like their clients to have GTL's short-term home health care plan that they can use immediately when they start needing that care. So yeah, let's dive into both of those. And I also want to make sure that we really are cognizant of the fact that you don't have a ton of time when you meet with your clients to go through all of these different products. So we try to make sure that we develop tools for you to use to keep the time explaining the product and how it can work for the client. They can see it quickly. And we do that by creating some consumer videos that you are welcome to share with the client and also prospect with. Also, infographics we found have been really valuable to get the client in short order, understanding what this product is, seeing an example of how it can work for them. And then they basically just want to know how much this thing costs, and you can sign them up from there. And speaking of signing them up, when your client's ready to go, ready to apply, you can apply for them in multiple different ways. First way, you download GTL's e-app onto your tablet or smartphone. You can quote from there and then quickly follow through with an e-application. They're going to sign your device screen. So that's a great way to quote and do the app electronically if you're with the client. If you're not with the client, I recommend just going over to GTL's website, signing in. You can use the same login and password you do for the e-application, and you can go ahead and quote and do an e-application even if you're not with the client. Now, in years past, the client, if you were not with them, had to pick up the phone and do a short verification call. Well, that's really been kind of blown out of the water since last fall when we introduced text to sign. And that, when you're not with the client, allows you to put their cell phone number into the application process, click submit, and it will instantly send them a text to their cell phone. And when they open up that text and click on the link, it turns their phone into a signature pad. And that new way for us to gather their signature, even when you're not with them, it's just blown away the verification call. So if you're with them, use the e-app. They'll sign your cell phone or your tablet screen. If you're not with them, use the PC platform, use text to sign, and you'll turn their cell phone into a signature pad. Really kind of cool, and it's been working great. So the first plan we're going to talk about, a short-term care plan called Recover Cash. Again, we just launched this new upgraded plan in February, and we added some great caregiver benefits to it and really jumped up the amount of money that you can get for home health care. I'm going to let our consumer video do the first introduction to the product for me.
With the rapid advancements in medical care, more procedures are being performed on an outpatient basis. While hospital stays are shorter and recovery times may be quicker, many people will still need some medical care from professionals and additional support from family members during their recovery. Guaranteed Trust Life Insurance Company's Recover Cash short-term care insurance is designed to not only help you cover out-of-pocket expenses you may incur during your recovery, but also to provide support for your family caregiver, helping you along the way. Recover Cash's benefits are flexible. You can choose to receive benefits for nursing homes, assisted living facilities, or even home health care. When you choose to add home health care benefits, not only will you receive weekly cash benefits to help pay for the costs associated with home health care, but it will also include a $3,500 cash benefit and concierge caregiver support services for your loved ones, provided by T-Care. T-Care was built by family caregivers with the belief that family caregivers need to be cared for too. With tailored action plans, tech-enabled insights, and comprehensive resources, T-Care's state-of-the-art family caregiver support services are designed to help identify and prevent the all-too-common burnout family members experience when caring for a loved one. Now, let's see a quick example on how it works. Meet Phil. When Phil turned 62, Phil purchased a GTL Recover Cash policy with a $100 per day nursing home benefit and a $500 per week home health care rider for only $23.33 per month. When Phil turned 68, he suffered a stroke, which made it difficult for him to do normal daily tasks. He knew he needed additional help, but still wanted to recover at home. Phil's healthcare provider certified that he needed a licensed home healthcare practitioner to help with 2 of his activities of daily living. Phil realized he needed additional support beyond the professional care, so his only daughter Lisa started to help care for him. Phil used the $500 per week from GTL to help pay for his care. After Phil's home health care claim was approved by GTL, Lisa registered and went through T-Care's caregiver assessment tool to help prevent burnout and identify resources in her community to help care for her father. GTL then paid Phil $3,500, which he gave to Lisa to pay for her gas and car repairs due to traveling to and from her dad's house every day. With the help of T-Care's certified caregiver navigators, Lisa was able to take care of herself while taking care of her dad. Instead of worrying about his finances or his daughter's well-being due to his stroke, Phil was able to receive the financial support he needed from GTL and the caregiver support Lisa needed from T-Care to help them on their journey. You shouldn't have to worry about the full extent of the financial or mental toll of short-term care for you or your family caregivers. So now is a great time to think about GTL's Recover Cash.
There you go. Just one of the great consumer videos that we have that you can share with your clients. And just to point out what really works well with these videos is not only the fact that it tells you a little bit about the product, but it really shows a great example of how it can work. That's what your clients can really identify with and think about, that could happen to me. How much is this plan? Sign me up. So feel free to use these videos. The QR codes are available on the front of the brochures. They're also, once you go to the Vimeo site where all GTL's videos are held, you can either download them right onto your desktop, or you could even just get the link for them and send them to a client via email. So keep that in mind. We do have a pretty nice state availability so far with Recover Cash. Since we did launch it in February, we're still getting more and more states. So if yours is not currently available, definitely could be coming down the road. But just want to show you which ones are available right now. With regard to the plan itself, what's great about it? Well, when you do turn in claims, the client gets the money directly. You have the choice of having nursing home and assisted living facility coverage. And if you want to, you can add home health care coverage. If you do sign up the husband and the spouse at the same time, you get that 10% spousal discount. And with this plan, when you do purchase it, your premiums do remain level as you get older. Now, there's a couple other benefits you can add. We've got the home health care rider that comes with the T-Care benefits that the video mentioned. And we've also have an inflation rider. Take your pick. You can do the simple or compound inflation rider. Whatever your client desires, whatever they can afford would be great. You also have the option of setting up a 0-day elimination period. Clients do go into assisted living facility, nursing home. Maybe they have some other type of coverage, but that coverage doesn't kick in until their day 21, or could be a larger elimination period on a long-term care plan. Well, you can set this up to start day 1. You've also got a restoration of the benefits that we're going to chat about today. There's a couple states that you can see that didn't allow GTL to offer the benefits to the policyholders in those 3 states, but we tried. But some states just are a little difficult. Let's just stop there. And then once we go ahead and add the home health care benefits, you do get that $3,500 caregiver benefit, plus, more importantly, the support from T-Care for your caregiver. So that comes with the home health care rider when you do add it. Now, just to mention this, you probably caught it in the video, you can just start off with the base plan that has assisted living and nursing home benefits. You could stop right there if you wanted to. Most people do add the home health care rider, and that again comes with the T-Care caregiver benefits. Now, making this plan kick in, your clients may say, okay, how does this thing work? When do I get to use it? Well, the first kick in would be if they now cannot do at least 2 of their activities of daily living, their ADLs. If they can't do 2, they can start using this. Or if they're diagnosed with a cognitive impairment, that would be another way to kick in these plan benefits. Now, when we talk about the benefits of the base plan, that's your nursing home and assisted living benefits. Issue age range is going to start at age 40, and it's going to stop at age 84. Now, once you're past that age, if you have this product, you can continue to pay for it and keep it. It never goes away. It's just all about getting it. You got to get it between the ages of 40 to 84. Also, when you set it up, you're going to take your pick of getting anywhere from $50 all the way up to $300 per day when you're in an assisted living or nursing home. And one of the things I like to mention here is you can kind of see where it says on the right side of the screen, 1, 2, 3, custodial, intermediate, and skilled care. Well, once you've qualified for benefits, it doesn't matter if what type of care you're getting changes while you're in the assisted living facility or nursing home, you're still getting your Recover Cash benefits from GTL. Again, you can by now, you've noticed that you can set this to a 20-day elimination period or a 0-day. And you probably also noticed you can do this for up to a year. You can set the benefit period anywhere from 30 days all the way up to 360 days. And that's why it's a short-term care plan, because basically it's here for a year. Now, with regard to that inflation rider, not a lot to pass along here, except if you do the simple inflation rider, each year your coverage will go up by 5% of the original amount that you chose, If you do the compound inflation rider, well, every year it goes up by 5%, and then every year it's going up by 5% of what it was last year. So it compounds, gets a little higher quickly. Getting into the home health care, this is really where the big bells and whistles started with the new Recover Cash launch this year. Moving the home health care weekly benefits up to $1,400 per week. That was a huge increase compared to what Recover Cash was in the past. So now you really have the opportunity through home health care services to get your clients a good amount of money. And again, you see the same thing, 0-day or 20-day elimination period. Go ahead and set that up however you like. And then basically in terms of how long you want to have this thing rolling for, 26 weeks or 52 weeks. I'll mention it one last time. Whenever you add the home health care rider, the family caregiver benefits to $3,500 and the support from TCare come with it. Also wanted to show a couple different premiums to give you an idea. I know the video showed a totally different one and a different price, but I wanted to share with you what we're seeing coming in. We're not seeing a lot of applications come in that have a huge, high $300 per day assisted living and nursing home benefit. What we're seeing is a low amount there and a high amount of the home health care rider. So you're seeing a couple different quotes here, $50 facility benefit, $1,200 home health care benefit. You can see you can keep this thing pretty affordable for the client and still be able to get them quite a bit of cash benefits if needed. Now, I did want to share with you, we're not going to read through them, but I just want to share with you the underwriting application questions and then also what we look at for underwriting with this process. There's more than 3 questions. You can see it's 1, 2, 3, and then 3A. And then as I go to the next screen, you'll see these are the rest of the questions. So it's kind of always found it interesting with insurance companies when we put an application together. It's like, yeah, we only have 5 questions, but there may be a subset of 10 questions within one. So there's really more than 5 questions, as you can see here. Now, I like to say that this product is a little bit more difficult to get than a hospital indemnity plan, but it's a ton less difficult to get than a long-term care plan. So it's kind of middle of the road. And when we look at the underwriting that goes through this product, the first thing is you've got your app questions. The second thing is you have your height and weight chart that you need to fit within. Now, we do an RX check for everybody just to see what medications they're taking and kind of just to double check that they're not on a medication that is actually for one of the conditions on the application questions. And then we do a medical data check just to make sure, more of the same above, just making sure that they haven't been diagnosed with a condition that's already on the application questions. So if you're applying for this plan and you're 75 or older, we'll also do a short PHI, which is just a phone call to the policyholder to verify their medications and their dosages. So underwriting, a little more complicated than hospital indemnity, a lot less complicated than long-term care. Now, the big part again about this product is the caregiver benefits. What I want to do now is introduce you to the CEO of TCare, and it gives a really great presentation as to how TCare came about and why.
Hi, my name is Ali Amadi, CEO of TCare. About 7 years ago, my wife and I became caregivers to my mother-in-law that was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma cancer. We became aware of this term known as family caregiving. As a former naval aviator, I was trained to navigate myself through extremely hard, difficult situations. And caregiving was one that I found myself lost in. TCare was born as a solution to help family caregivers navigate all the challenges that they go through when they are taking care of a loved one. We are born out of an academic research project that through 7 years of 2 sets of clinical trials, over 15 years of longitudinal data, led to our algorithms understanding for families what solutions at what time, what place are the most effective to help them. My wife and I thought we needed respite or home care services in our caregiving journey. But when we went through the TCare algorithms in the process, what the system identified was that we needed marriage counseling because our risk factor to burnout was a toll that caregiving was bringing on our marriage. And that's what had led us to start thinking about placing my mother-in-law into an institutional facility. And so the process of what TCare works is we engage families, whether the policyholder and the family caregiver, the primary family caregiver, typically spouse, daughter, son. The process to use TCare is extremely easy. It takes 90 seconds on a web portal or a platform to fill out a form. And through that, one of our social workers and our TCare specialists connects with those families. And through a 25 to 35-minute consultation process, they help them navigate through all the resources that they need at any given point in time. To receive the TCare Family Caregiver Support Services, it is extremely simple. We are either a phone call or a text message away for families. There's no claims process. There's no adjudication. Families can have access to the TCare benefit starting day one of owning the policy. TCare is here for you and your clients to empower you to bring a family support system so that families don't ever have to be challenged with the burden of caregiving. And they are spending more quality time with their loved ones.
If you've ever had the occasion to be caregiver for a family member or a friend, you know exactly what Ali was talking about there, the amount of stress that comes into your life. It's really quite a burden. And I think the biggest part of this product is this caregiver benefit, and not as much the $3,500. That is great to have, but the idea that you can pick up the phone or text TCare, get some support, even if it's just you having to vent, and then them giving you some advice, some support nearby, even meals nearby that you can pick up. It really is an unbelievable, great quality item to have in an insurance policy. And that's why I'm so excited about the Recover Cash plan. It really does help out not only the policyholder, but the family that's doing some caregiving. We've got some nice marketing materials for you. Of course, the infographics are great. The video is great. And you can see on the client brochure, right on the left side, there's a QR code. That's where you would access that video. And if you need some supplies, you can always call GTL. You could email GTL. Feel free to reach out to the sales support team, 800-323-6907. And you could email them at agency@gtlic.com. So think about Recover Cash. There's obviously other short-term care plans out there. But once you have this one as your policy, I think the caregiver benefit is really one that makes it stand out. Now, moving on to the second product, the short-term home health care plan. Now, this is a product that's absolutely was stunning when we came out with it a few years ago. As I did trainings around the country, agents were like, this thing will never last. It's so inexpensive for the client. There's just no way it'll last. And I'm proud to say after 5-6 years with this plan, not only is it lasting, but it's really doing well for everybody, the policyholders, agents, and GTL. So what we do is we try to make sure we're always adding benefits. We just added a nice benefit to this plan, which I'll mention to you in a couple minutes. But target market, what do we have? Well, your clients that are taking prescription drugs, well, that's pretty much all of your clients. Think about that. Also, you got some clients who haven't thought about or haven't planned for that future care. They don't have a short-term care plan. They don't have a long-term care plan. Maybe they can't afford it. Maybe they can't qualify for that long-term care plan. So what we're talking about here is just home health care. And the cool thing is that not only is it great to talk to your clients about that are in the senior space, but talking to clients that may be in their 40s, 50s, who have their parents still around, good to talk to them about it too. Because if they're going to be the caregiver eventually for their parents, they may want to purchase a policy like this for their parents. The great thing about this one, Underwriting, is a snap. There's only 3 questions to this application, So most people that get it, one, they're going to be paying a very little amount. And in most cases, it amounts to only a few dollars per month. So we're going to show you how that all works. But it's super simple to get. So I'm going to share with you the consumer video. And sometimes I do trainings, and after I play this video, agents raise their hand, and I'm like, yeah, what's up? And they'll say, you know what, Greg, I just played the video, and the clients ask me how much their premium is and say, sign me up. So please use this video. I think it'll really do wonders for you.
There's no bed like your own. And if you suffer an illness or have an accident, the last thing you would want to do is recover in an unfamiliar, hectic environment like a hospital or nursing home. Focus on your recovery in the comfort of your own home with short-term home health care insurance from Guarantee Trust Life Insurance Company. Think about your family situation. You may be reaching that age where planning for future care is necessary, or maybe your parents are reminding you they don't want to go to a nursing home. How could being unprepared for either yours or your parents' need for care affect your finances and way of life? GTL's short-term home health care insurance is more affordable than most other plan of care policies, and it pays benefits directly to you regardless of any other insurance you have. Home health care benefits kick in if you suffer a cognitive disability or can't perform 2 of the 6 ADLs, and no hospital stay is required. The base plan consists of 3 main components, and there are 3 different base plans for you to choose from to match the level of coverage you want. With the home health care benefit, your chosen plan pays a benefit for up to 360 payments for a variety of services, including skilled nursing, physical therapy, and general nursing care. With our most comprehensive plan, you can receive up to $162,000 of home health care benefits. With the home health care aide benefit, you can receive a daily benefit for each day you require the services of a home health care aide, depending on your chosen plan, and no hospitalization stay is required. Most likely, you're taking at least 1 prescription medication. With the prescription drug benefit, you can receive benefits for any prescriptions that are filled after the policy is in effect. Just filling your normal prescriptions can help offset the cost of the policy itself. Now let's see how it works. Say you're 65 years old, have the Plan A policy, and take 1 brand name prescription that you refilled 10 times over the year. A GTL short-term home health care insurance policy would pay you a total benefit amount of $250 over those 12 months. With an annual policy premium of $294.45, the net cost of the policy would be less than $4 a month. And this is not even including any home health care benefits you may receive. Short-term home health care insurance from GTL is flexible, customizable, with a great set of riders for you to choose from. And with only 2 or 3 underwriting questions, you don't have to worry about a long application process or medical exam. So, for a fair premium, wouldn't you rather receive professional care at home? Now is a great time to find out more about GTL's short-term home health care insurance.
There you go, a fun video. You can imagine showing that to clients. It really makes a lot of sense. Goes through the 3 different components that they get. And here, I figured this is the perfect time to go over how easy it is to get this plan. So let's just say that you're going to sign up for Plan A or B, and those are the most popular plans. Plan B is the most popular one applied for. Well, if that's the case, all you have to do is be able to answer the first 3 application questions no, and you get it. So let me paraphrase them for you really quickly here. Are you already getting home health care services or an assisted living facility or nursing home? If you can answer that one no, you're 1/3 of the way there. Second one, do you already have issues doing any of your ADLs, your activities of daily living? If you can answer that one no, 2/3 of the way there. Last question, have you already been diagnosed with any type of memory issue, memory loss, Alzheimer's, dementia? If you answer that 3rd one no, you're there. That's it. You can get Plan A or B. So a couple things I'm going to point out to you here that I'll come back to in a few slides down the road. You don't see anything in there saying, have you been in the hospital lately? In those first 3 questions. Have you had a heart attack or stroke lately? Are you insulin dependent diabetic? Were you just diagnosed with cancer? Do you have cancer right now? You don't see anything like that in here. So I'm going to come back to that, but I want to give you an idea. That's all it takes to get a policy if you're getting plan A or B is answering the first 3 application questions no. If you want plan C, you also have to answer the 4th question no. But great way to get this plan for your clients. Most of them should be able to get it. Now, issue age for this plan, it's a little tighter than most GTL plans. Age 61 to 85 is your issue age. Again, once you got it, you can keep it as long as you want. Just keep paying the premiums. So whichever base plan you choose, A, B, or C, you do get all 3 of those components shown in the video. Prescription drug benefit, home health care aide benefit. Now, the big change that we made just about a month ago was on Plan C and the prescription drug benefit. Bottom right side of your screen, you see where it now says you can get up to $900 a year from GTL and prescription drug benefits. Well, that used to be $600. So now we've moved that up for Plan C up to $900 a year in prescription benefits from GTL. And we're going to break down each of these components here, but the only reason I threw all 3 components on the screen here at once, just so it reminds me to tell you, if you sign up for Plan A for home health care benefits, you're going to get Plan A for the other 2 components too. So you're going to have all A, all B, or all C. So first one, prescription drug benefits. How does this work? Well, immediately after my policy is issued, I do not have to be on home health care claim, but once I get my policy issued, I can start telling GTL, hey, I just refilled a prescription. It's a brand name, send me $25. Or it's generic, send me $10. And I can keep doing that all year round until I hit my maximum, which for Plan A is $300, for Plan B, $600, for Plan C, now up to $900. So it's very simple. You can see from I've got my policy premium, and I'm getting money from GTL every time I refill a prescription. Wow, this policy is not costing me much money at all. So here's a little additional, just like in the video, gives you an idea. Let's just say we've got Plan A, 65-year-old, refilled 15 prescriptions over the years. Some were generic, some brand. Those total $225 that they get from GTL just for filling their normal prescriptions. Policy premium for a 65-year-old getting Plan A is $294.45. So at the end of the year, how much did this plan cost them? Net $69.45, or a little less than $6 a month. So when you think about this plan, you've got a lot of clients who probably don't have long-term care. Maybe they can't qualify for short-term care, but we all know clients would rather recover at home if possible. Easy plan to get. They're already taking prescriptions. It's not going to cost them a lot of money net out of pocket. This is a slam dunk for most of your clients. They'll want this plan. So some FAQs I generally get when I do this presentation. Greg, are you saying that if I'm taking a brand name prescription and I fill it every month, I'm going to get $25 from GTL each time I fill it? Yes, that's absolutely the case until you hit your annual maximum, that $300, $600, or $900. Now, generic works the same way, except it's $10 every time that you refill a generic prescription. This is a big one, really important, because a lot of your clients are doing a 90-day supply refill. And I want to make clear that, it's that's one benefit, because that's one prescription being refilled. Even though they're getting a 3-month supply, it's one prescription being filled. And that's how the policy works. Every time you fill a prescription, you get a benefit. Also, you may be wondering, well, what if my client's got Medicare Part D, and when they go to the drugstore, they only pay $5, for a copay? Or what if they pay $0? Is GTL still going to send them their $10 or $25? Absolutely. So let's go to the second component, which is home health care. This is where you're going to have a professional coming to help with physical therapy, speech therapy, all those things that you see on the left side of the screen there. The first thing we need to know is what makes this part of the product kick in. Same thing as Recover Cash. Either being diagnosed with a cognitive impairment, or you can't do 2 of your 6 ADLs. That's what it takes to trigger the home health care benefits. You might be wondering how long they last. Well, they last 360 days, but the important part is to understand and tell your clients that's 360 days of benefits. Has nothing to do with the calendar year. So you could take 3 years to use up your 360 days of benefits. Doesn't matter how long it takes you, you have 360 days. Nothing to do with the calendar year. Now, if you're wondering if this base plan restores, the answer is maybe. And I know that kind of sounds funny, but it's the truth. Let's say that maybe you broke your hip, or you're getting a knee replacement, hip replacement, shoulder surgery, something where you're going to need some help, some home health care. Well, you can go ahead and use this. And then after 180 days of you being totally recovered, where you don't need home health care anymore, you get a full restoration. Even if you only use 30 of your 360 days, you recover for 180 days, you get a full restoration. When would this not restore? Well, let's say that I'm using it because I have dementia. Well, currently there's no cure for that. So after I use my 360 days of benefits up, I'm not going to recover where I don't need home health care for 180 consecutive days, so there would be no restoration. That's how this works with regard to restoration. Now, when we break down the money, even if you don't get a restoration, there's a lot of money, cash benefits to be had here. The most you can get with Plan A in terms of daily benefits is $150. Now, you can see if I needed physical therapy and speech therapy in the same day, those are $75 cash benefits a piece. Total them up, you get $150. That's the most I could get in one day. But if I take $150 and times it by 360 days of benefits, that's $54,000. Plan B, same concept. The most you can get is $300 per day. Do that math, comes up to $108,000 for Plan B in home health care benefits. Plan C, up to $450 per day in benefits. That's the one in the video I mentioned, up to $162,000 in home health care benefits. Also keep in mind, not only is that money coming to the client, but they're also getting their prescription drug benefits too. Here's a quick example. Let's say that I'm 65, I have Plan A, and I unfortunately have a stroke. Now I get home and I need some speech therapy and physical therapy. Let's just say I need it for 10 days, and it doesn't matter how long it took me to do those 10 days. It could have been 10 days in a row or over the next year. Doesn't matter. Well, that adds up to $1,500 in benefits. And what was my annual premium again for this? $294.45. And again, I'm still getting some prescription benefits too. So let's move on to the third component. This is the home healthcare aid component. And this is usually, I'm just going to say generically, the home healthcare aid is coming over to help with the client with their ADLs, toileting, transferring, grooming, eating, bathing. So how does this one work? Well, the first thing that's great is if you're going to use this, you do not have to have a requirement of a prior hospitalization. You need this, again, that kick in. Can't do 2 of my ADLs, or I have a cognitive impairment. That's all I need to get started with this. Now, the benefits here last for 60 days. And again, nothing to do with the calendar year. So what else do we need to know? Well, it's got that same restoration benefit. Use it a little or use it all up. You recover for 180 consecutive days, you get a full restoration. Even if you do not get a restoration at all, you can still see $2,400, $4,800, $7,200 with Plan C of benefits, a nice chunk of money to not have to take out of your bank account for home health care aid costs. With regard to who can provide the care, this is a really important question. Well, the first thing is that caregiver needs to be certified, registered in their state, whatever that state guideline is, to be able to perform those duties and services. And second, they need to work for an agency that's licensed that can provide GTL with a bill and details of what they did at each appointment. That's it. There's a lot of language on that in the policy, but this is basically what it breaks down. So this is not generally going to be your spouse or your daughter or your son providing this care. It's going to be a licensed professional that works for an agency. So this product does have a 6-month pre-X. I think the best way to describe it is a actual true-to-life situation. In 2018, we launched this plan, and a few months later, I got a call from an agent, and she said that she just signed her husband up for this plan, and he's been being treated for cancer for the past year. And at that moment, a big light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, wow, that's right. You can get this policy even if you have cancer. Currently, you can get this policy. So she said, how does the 6-month pre-X work? So basically, I told her, if her husband starts needing home health care benefits due to his cancer, he's not going to be able to start using the home health care benefits until the policy is over 6 months old. So after 6 months, you can start using it for your pre-existing conditions. But then I also followed up and said, but if your husband, who's currently being treated for cancer, slips and falls and blows out his knee and needs surgery and then home health care to rehab that knee, he can use it right away because that's not a pre-existing condition. So that's how the 6-month pre-X works with this product. And that's one of the beautiful things I love about it is you can have some serious health conditions and still get this plan. The pricing. Generally, pricing is not the most important slide that you get in the presentation, but this one is really up there in the top 5 for sure. The only reason I mention that is because this plan does increase in price every 4 to 5 years. So if you signed me up today for Plan A and I was 65 years old, it's going to cost me $24.54 a month. When I turn 71, I'm in the next age range band. So when I turn 71 and also the policy hits its anniversary date, that's when my premiums will automatically increase to $32.85. Now, it's really important that you tell the clients about this future scheduled rate increase so they don't think something's wrong with the product or the company. It's just very standard. It's going to increase every few years, and that's natural with this plan. Now, once you reach the age of 86, that's your last rate increase that you will see. And most people are doing this the same way they do hospital indemnity or cancer plan. They're signing up, they're doing monthly bank draft, but we can draft for any other mode. With regard to a little tip for you guys, every once in a while, you run into a senior or a person that you'd love to get a standalone hospital indemnity plan. And I always recommend a standalone hospital indemnity plan because those plans, when you buy them, the rate stays the same. But unfortunately, sometimes you run into a client who could really benefit from a hospital indemnity plan, but they just can't qualify due to a health condition. Well, again, we're circling back to those application questions on the short-term home health care plan, and they didn't ask about when's the last time you were in the hospital? Were you just recently diagnosed with cancer? Did you have a heart attack, stroke? It didn't ask about anything like that. So you may have some clients who really need some hospital indemnity coverage. You can add a hospital indemnity rider on this plan to their coverage. What do we need to know about it? Well, this one does have a 30-day waiting period for sickness. So that's a little bit of a negative compared to a standalone hospital indemnity plan. Also, the premium rates for this rider will increase just like the base plan of this plan does every 4 to 5 years. Again, another negative compared to a standalone hospital indemnity plan. However, if this is the only one your client can get, it's not a bad deal. You can get yourself a 3-day or 6-day benefit period, 100, 200, or 300 per day when you're in the hospital, and these benefit periods, whichever one you choose, restores automatically after 60 days of no use, and it restores an unlimited amount of time. What else do we need to know? It's got that same 6-month pre-X on it, just like every hospital indemnity plan has. You can't use it for pre-existing conditions for the first 6 months that you have it. After 6 months, you can. A couple other riders here. Has a really nice ambulance rider. You get $200 when you use an ambulance. The nice thing about this rider, one, it's really inexpensive, probably $2 to $4 a month, and you can use it up to 4 times per year, up to you hit $2,500 in ambulance benefits alone, and it doesn't require the person being admitted to the hospital. So, sometimes people will take an ambulance, to the hospital for an ER stay, or it turns out they go to the hospital and it's just an observation coded stay. Doesn't matter. They're going to get their money for their ambulance benefits with this rider. Critical accident rider, think of this one as you get a little older, the bones get a little more brittle. When you slip and fall, have a car accident, stuff like that, things tend to break, dislocate, or tear. So that's what this rider is about. It's extremely inexpensive, probably going to be anywhere from $1 to $3, depending upon your age and what amount you choose to have. But that's what it's basically there for. If something happens, you can get yourself a lump sum payout from the critical accident rider. And while I've been gabbing away on this rider, you probably noticed there's an accidental death benefit, and you could also choose from either a $5,000 or $10,000 benefit level. Now, believe it or not, here I am at GTL, Vice President of Sales, and I'm going to tell you not to sell the return of premium rider on this plan. Now, I'm a fan of return of premium riders, but here's my caveat when I say that. When you get a return of premium rider, that basically says if you keep the policy long enough or whatever the parameters are, if the policyholder dies, well, then you're going to get the premium that the policyholder sent in less than he claims paid, and that's going to go to the beneficiary. Okay, why in the world would I say not to sell the return of premium rider on the short-term home health care plan? Simple reason. All of the prescription benefits that your client's getting from GTL while they're alive and while they're getting prescriptions filled, those are counted and tallied as claim benefits. So if you have the return of premium rider and the client dies before reaching the age of 86 and they have been using the prescription benefits, well, they're probably not going to have that much left over to be sent to the beneficiary, if anything at all. So that's why I'm not a fan of the return of premium rider on this plan alone. Other plans, yeah, love it. What else is good to know about these three riders? Well, these rates do not increase as the policyholder ages, which is nice. So just keep it simple. Your base plan, your hospital indemnity rider, those things go up every 4 to 5 years. Everything else that you can choose in terms of riders will not increase as your client gets older. Now, here's the question I usually get right off the bat. How easy is it to get my prescription drug benefit money? First thing I'll tell you, there's no claim form. So that's a great start. All we really need from there, we just need a copy of the receipt that came with the prescription. You know, the one that's like on your screen. It's got the prescription number, the pills, how many are there, what the drug is, person's name and the date. That's all we need. So you could send us that. You could send us a copy of that. You could go to Walgreens or Rite Aid, CVS, and ask your pharmacist, print out my prescriptions for the last year and send them to GTL. That's all we need. Put them in an envelope, mail them to GTL. Now, you can do it as often as you like. We've got a ton of people that every time they fill a prescription, they send us a receipt. And then we got a bunch of other people who do it monthly, or even, like I said, you can go and get a printout annually, send it to GTL, get your money. Whatever your client wants to do, fine with us. When it comes to going on claim for home health care or home health care aid benefits, very short claim form. If you're familiar with our hospital indemnity claim form, really short, very similar. Now, once you're about to go on claim, you'll definitely need to include a plan of care from your physician. That's something they tend to fill out anyway. It's basically saying, Greg needs home health care twice a week for this, and he needs a home health care aid 5 times a week for that. It's basically a description of what they need. So that would need to come in with the claim form and then also send us in the first bill. Now, next month when there's more bills, we don't need another claim form. We don't need another plan of care. We just need the bill. Now, when it comes to any of the other riders, the ambulance rider, anything like that, really simple. Fill out the claim form, check the box for the ambulance rider. If that's what the claim's for, send us the bill that shows us you used an ambulance. That's the claim process at GTL. Now, we've covered 2 different products today, and hopefully you can kind of see which target market, which of your clients may need, one or the other. I really like the Recover Cash benefit, and that's basically because this year, 2023, with regard to my parents and family, we've gone from none of the 3 remaining parents needing any type of care to all 3 needing care at the same time. So I found out very short order how amazing this plan is, both for the clients, but also for the caregiver. A lot of stress there. Now, the short-term home health care plan, again, it's a great plan for your clients to have if they haven't planned for care and they're at an age where getting a short-term care plan or a long-term care plan is just not feasible. And when you explain to them how it works with their prescription drugs and their net costs on that plan, it's just like, this is too good to be true. But again, we've had this product for 7+ years now. It's working phenomenal. And we're just thrilled that we offered it. We're thrilled that our actuaries priced it right. And we're thrilled that we can continue to offer it, in the market. So let me mention to you again, and then we'll be ready to see if there's some questions. How do you get some of this stuff? Well, you can call GTL sales support at 323-6907. You can call or email agency at gtlic.com. You can even text to chat during normal business hours, same 800 number, and that's with our sales support crew. You can always email me at gspo@gtlic.com. If you got your phone nearby, take a picture of the screen, and if you wouldn't mind, please put my name, Greg Esposito, and my email address, gspo@gtlic.com. Please put it in your phone, and do not hesitate to reach out to me, whether it's during the day, in the evening, on the weekends. If you're with a client and you get stumped, please reach out to me. Happy to respond quickly in order to help you go ahead and get that sale. So with that, we can kind of see if we've got any questions that we can tackle, Brad, and if not, we can call it a day.
Yeah, there wasn't really any questions that I wasn't able to answer. The one, I guess, are there any states that you're pushing for that are kind of close that you can maybe share?
Yeah, so good question on that. We, with regard to the short-term home health care plan, that one we've had for 6 or 7 years. We did have this one available in Utah, and then Utah about a year and a half ago changed their regs, and basically we're saying, any short-term home health care plan in our state needs to meet long-term care guidelines and reporting requirements. So we had to change that product, and we refiled it with them. We're waiting to attain approval. So Utah would be one on the short-term home health care side that we would be hoping to get. But after that, with that plan, I think we pretty much run the gamut with all the states that we would be able to get approval in. There's some states that just don't even believe in short-term care plans or just have their own state-specific regs that won't allow our product to fit into their state. And with Recover Cash, yes, we've definitely had some states that we're still working on. I think at the end of the day, we'll probably end up with close to 40 states. But I know there's some that we're close on, but, once like I said, we launched it in February, we're 6 months in. There's usually some states that take close to a year to be able to go back and forth with and get, but I think we'll definitely wind up with close to 40 at the end of the day, but there's just some states that take a long time.
Understood. No, and we're happy to see those 4 additional states just in the last week. So
yeah.
Otherwise, I think that's about it. So, thanks again, Greg, and everyone that signed up for today's webinar. As you can see, GTL has a couple great products, and along with the marketing and the e-app capabilities, it's like I said, just a great product to use. With that, if you have any questions that come up after this, or you want us to run some quotes, contact Katie or myself, and we'll be glad to help you out. So with that, take care. We'll see you guys later.
Hey, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of the week. Take care.
Bye.